Hey, I'm Butterfly.
Hey, I'm Firefly.
Have you ever wondered if we aren't being told the truth about everything?
What have we been lied to about? Join us as we have conversations and ask questions about everything. We invite you to keep an open mind and consider the unfathomable.
Let's break the chains that enslave our minds. Come on, let's go down the rabbit hole.
What's up, Butterfly?
Hey, Firefly, what's going on?
We have a year-end roundup, if you will.
Ooh, a roundup.
It's a roundup.
Is this like that stuff they spray on the grass
That's right.
to kill the bad stuff?
When they have to eradicate invasive species.
They spray Roundup.
Roundup.
Is that the
yes.
same kind of thing? Are
Oh,
you
kind of a roundup.
is it
Well, we're
different?
kind of rounding up the CO.
Oh,
So
yeah.
what we're doing
This
is
is a New Year's
resolutions.
resolutions, and also we're going to talk about bringing positive change in the
Positive
new
change.
year,
That's right.
right?
We're imposing New Year's resolutions on the CO.
Yes, we're imploring them.
That's right. Admonishing.
Mm-hmm.
Admonish.
Mm.
Okay. So why don't we begin with, or should we just start going down the list and start getting into it?
So we're going to say what each one of them's what their New Year's resolution should be.
That's right.
Okay, we're going to make the New Year's resolution for them.
We're going to suggest them. And then we can also make some general suggestions for the world.
Yeah, because we should be giving advice to the world. We don't necessarily think that the controlled opposition is going to do these resolutions, but this is what they should be doing.
If they're not clones or psychopaths, then maybe we can touch their hearts.
Right. And if they listen to Butterfly and Firefly, they might get an idea for New Year's resolutions, and we've got it here for them.
Well, that's it. I think, have you ever heard that Rush song, Closer to the Heart?
Oh, yeah.
Din, din,
Yeah.
din, 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 din. We need to move closer to the heart.
Very good idea.
So I think that's the gist of this episode, because I think my reading of the tea leaves is we're being ruled by clones and psychopaths.
Totally.
So we have to get closer to the heart.
Yeah. And I think, when it comes to the end of the year, it's a good time to sort of, assess the situation and come up with ideas about how you want to go forward and make some positive changes in your life. And so we felt like this was the perfect time to come up with positive changes for the world.
Well, that's
Right.
what we're going to do. And this is the time to do it, because I've always kind of had like bad habits, and I've always kind of had like my New Year's was always like the time where I was like, okay, let's turn over a new leaf. It's kind of an exciting time, the new year.
Do you find that works for you? Do you stick with it? Because I heard that
It does.
most people don't stick with their New Year's resolution. Like everybody starts a diet in January and they join gyms. Like that's like the biggest business season for gyms.
Yeah, that's right.
In January, and then by like the end of February, everybody's like off.
They slack
They're
off.
off the
But
wagon.
hey, you know what? At least the impetus was there,
Right.
and maybe
So
some
they worked
people,
out good for a couple weeks.
it could be, or they might stick to it. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
think what we need to do is, even if it's for a couple of weeks, let's do some
Yeah.
positive changes.
We can make a lot of changes in a couple weeks.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then who knows? Maybe it'll stick this
Right.
time.
Okay.
So let's start off with who's our first CO that we're going to unpack, that what we suggest we admonish they do.
Well, why don't we just go for CO herself?
CO, which stands for
Candace Owens.
and
Controlled opposition.
Captain Obvious.
Captain Obvious.
Which is what I called her when she first started off.
So interesting how that all kind of just works out.
So Candace, well, we have to start with Candace
Yeah.
because, we've been having lots of conversations about her. I've been noticing your reading of the tea leaves on her has been an ever-changing thing just in the last few weeks.
I know.
So I think, how long's Candace had a show? She's had a show for a while now.
Yeah. I think it's been a few years.
And you've kind of been on board the Candace train.
I'm kind of on board with her. Yeah.
You've been kind of on board with her, and we've been like, me too.
We've been going back and forth with her.
But just recently, we've been kind of seeing the German Shepherd moment.
Yeah, she's had a couple German Shepherd moments.
She's had
a couple. Now that's interesting because usually the German Shepherd moment is the defining moment, and it's the end. Like you can't. It was a bridge too far, and you can't see this person another way. But she actually redeemed herself,
You know what it reminds
and
me
then
of?
we had a second German Shepherd moment. And you
Yes.
know what that kind of makes me think of, like, that saying, what is it? Burn me once,
Oh, fool me
fool me
once,
once,
shame
shame
on
on you.
you.
Fool me twice, shame on me.
That's what it is.
So we can't keep letting the same
I
thing.
let Charlie Sheen fool me twice
Yeah.
because you had already kind of written him off a
Mhm.
long time ago.
Mhm.
You were like, "That guy's a scumbag. I don't care about him," and I was like, "Yeah, but Young Guns is a good movie." And Major League is a good movie, and I was like, "I like him," and then he comes out and he goes, "Well, I looked at the other side of the menu," and so that was kind of like he like finally German Shepherd moment in himself. So sometimes you give people the benefit of the doubt when it should have been a German Shepherd moment the first time.
Right.
Maybe he did that a little bit with Candace.
Yeah. Totally.
Maybe
Totally.
because what did she do? She comes out and she goes, "Stop tripping out about Erica Kirk, even though she looks like that. Even though she looks like that woman who was married to the mayor back in 1967. Like, not just a
With the
spinning,
same name.
she's the same name. She like identical.
Yeah.
And so that's nothing to see here. Plus, she's like,
The grieving widow.
she's going on Fox News and going, "There's nothing to see about my husband's death."
Yeah.
And it's like, there's nothing to see.
And I'm
Everything about it is
and I'm
weird.
just gonna take over the company, and I'm gonna give speeches all over the place, a week after my husband died. But that's okay. The children are home with a nanny. It's fine.
That's right. Her
It's
tenor was off
Yeah.
for a grieving widow.
Yeah.
But so Candace is like what we've been saying is what the controlled opposition does is what I used to do when I worked at Squaw Valley, otherwise known as Small Native American Girl Valley, because it's politically incorrect to say Squaw Valley now. When I used to work in the parking lot there, I used to say, "Hey, you can't just drive up to the lodge and unload there. You have to go park where I tell you to park, and you have to unload at your car, and you have to haul all your stuff up to the lodge because everybody has to do that. So you get guided where you have to park." That's what the CO does. What Candace has been doing aggressively is trying to guide her audience away from anomalies surrounding Charlie Kirk's death and Erica Kirk being a clone, which is weird.
Which is that's our latest theory that we discussed in our one of our previous episodes.
So, what's her New Year's resolution? What's Candace's New Year's resolution as far as you're concerned in terms of um, what can she do differently in the coming year?
Well, I think her New Year's resolution should be that she should, well, I think for all of them, decide that they're not going to be controlled opposition if
Yes.
they can renege on their deal with Satan. But she should address all of the issues if she's going to really be investigating this thing, and that includes Erica Kirk. And you know what?
Yep. Go ahead.
I just had an epiphany.
Epiphany, epiphany, epiphany.
So it was in our episode, I think it was, um which was it the one where we said, can you
On German
in
Shepherds a moment.
yeah, or you can't be rehabilitated from the German Shepherd moment.
Yeah.
Um or was it, controlled opposition is in conjunction? That was the one.
Yeah.
Why are they all trying to steer us away from Erica Kirk? And they all actually have this one theory that they're pushing, which is that Charlie Kirk is actually dead. And I'm not convinced of that.
No, not
And
at all.
maybe that all this investigation and whether or not they think Erica Kirk's weird or not is, and even the weird behavior of her, is to make people so confused that they don't even question the idea that maybe he's still alive.
And I'm starting to think maybe it's all a big distraction. Maybe this whole Erica Kirk thing is a tempest in a teapot that they want people focused on because there's probably something more pressing going on that's putting us more firmly in this digital prison.
Exactly.
But here's another admonishment that I might do for Candace Owens.
Okay.
Um, stop trying to guide your audience's takeaway.
Yeah.
What we do with our show is we ask questions. We try to just change the narrative a little bit.
Mhm.
We try to, what I like to say is, we try to alter the discourse.
Right.
But we're not sitting here trying to tell our audience, which is larger than 106 people,
Mhm.
we're not trying to tell our audience what to think.
No.
She was doing that.
Yeah.
She was like barking at her audience.
She was like, "You're all crazy."
You're crazy.
Yeah.
You're not coming to the right conclusions.
That
So that's
yeah.
my admonishment for her for the new year is stop trying to tell your audience what to think.
Yeah.
Just read the tea leaves and tell us what you think. That's why people are tuning into you.
Exactly. That whole crazy thing makes me think of Ben Shapiro. Because
Ben Shapiro.
he yells at his audience and he like totally like if anybody is crazy and on a psychotic break, I'm going to use their own terms. He seems like he's going down that route.
Totally.
He's like unhinged. He's so unhinged.
You know what he is? He's a know-it-all.
He's super abrasive.
He's a know-it-all.
Yeah, he is.
He reminds me of
Nobody likes a know-it-all.
no. And who's the other guy? Crowder. Louder with Crowder. I can't remember his first name.
Yeah. Is he the gay guy?
I don't know. Is he gay? He was married and got divorced, but that could have been a front.
Right.
But he likes to tell you, I'm right, and
Yeah.
don't ever argue with me
Right.
about everything.
Yeah.
And, that's kind of Charlie Kirk, too.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, yeah, totally.
my job is to say, I'm right. And that's what, little Ben does.
Yeah.
Benny. He comes out and he goes, I'm right. And I'm going to yell at you. I'm right.
And that's why I never take my beanie off.
So my
Maybe he's got little horns on his head
Oh, yeah.
that he has to hide.
You know what he is? He's like Sam Neill in The Omen 2, where he's actually got 666 like tattooed on his head from birth. It's like that's his birthmark. If you look closely, Ben Shapiro, he looks like the Antichrist.
Totally.
He's like, what? I met a God. Because, my admonishment for him, New Year's resolution for Ben Shapiro is, again, let your audience think for themselves.
Mhm.
You tell your point of view. If they're interested in it and they want to hear it, then let them listen to it.
I have another resolution for him.
Mhm.
Maybe take your blinders off about that country from 1948 and look at some of the bad things that they've done.
Well, he's from that country from
I
1948.
know.
He loves that country.
So he's totally got a bias and he refuses to see any wrongdoings coming from them.
Well, he's like, well, he's taking over the world, and I don't want to jeopardize that.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be, I don't think it's going to work out good for them.
Mm-mm.
I think those people from 1948 are not having a Merry Christmas. Do they celebrate Christmas? No, they're like Hanukkah. They're like Hanukkah.
Yeah.
So they've got like more presents. I guess they have more days where they get presents.
Well, they have 7 days, right?
Ugh.
But do they only get like one present on each day?
I don't know. I've never actually been to any kind of a Hanukkah celebration. But what I will say is they kind of rule the world and are kind of being a mob.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it's going to work out good for them in the coming year
No.
because there's too many people talking about it.
True.
What the mob should do is the mob is supposed to control things behind cloak and
Quietly.
dagger,
Yeah.
quietly.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes out in the open, then the mob starts to break down in their power structure
Totally.
because now he's coming by and he's shaking you down, and people are going to start resisting.
It's kind of too obvious.
So I think Ben Shapiro, maybe my recommendation for you for the new year is, get with the winning team.
What about Alex?
Well, now Alex.
Yeah.
Alex pertains to that country from 1948 too. Him and Ben Shapiro are both big fans.
Don't look at that.
So Alex is always guiding you away from those people from 1948.
Yeah, there's all these other problems like the Muslims, the Chicoms, but don't look at the people from 1948.
No, like the other day when he was talking about the Mall of America.
Yeah.
We love Somalis. We love our Muslims. And what happened was he lays out the problem as if it's like this organic grassroots movement of these people from Somalia. No, it's all orchestrated by the big black rocks of the world.
Hmm.
They are from that country from 1948, and they orchestrate things like a bunch of Somalis from that one tribe that rules that country
Yeah,
coming over to this country.
right. Like it doesn't seem organic that all of a certain group of people would end up in one small condensed area in a very
No.
specific area in Minnesota. I mean, that's kind of random, right?
So, Alex, my resolution for him is be more organic
Yeah.
because you are not being organic.
No,
What you're
you're
doing
being
is
controlled.
because that was the thing about that episode. Remember, we were talking about it, and he was talking about that very interesting dynamic about the 1% in India that rules all of India. And he was talking about that one slaver family that rules Somalia, and how all of the ones from those two countries that come to America are from those elite groups in
Yeah,
that country. That's all been orchestrated by the West.
right.
So, talk about that. That was a very fascinating episode.
Yeah.
His discourse was interesting.
Hmm.
But then at the end, what does he do? He comes in and he says, here's the takeaway. Chai comes and the globalists, and we need to be careful of the Muslims. No, he has to talk about that country from 1948.
You can't be talking about all the problems in the world and then leave out one very big obvious one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's what all of these people are doing pretty much. They pick the certain problems or the certain guilty whatever that they're talking about, but then they leave out one very obvious one that we can all see.
I just had an epiphany.
It's obvious. What?
So, what Alex Jones does, have you ever hung out with somebody who's addicted to methamphetamine?
Not that I know of.
Well, so you can tell. You can
Okay.
usually tell.
Okay. I don't really hang out with meth heads.
So what happens with meth heads is they get really bad acne and their teeth start falling out.
Yeah, like
And
Hunter Biden.
yeah. They get really bad acne and their teeth start falling out, and then they start behaving in these very degenerate ways.
Mm.
Like if you have a friend who you really like and they're your bro, but then now they started doing meth, they might come by and like take the change off your dad's dresser or something like that. And you're like, dude, that was lame of you. And he's
Yeah.
like, well, I'm doing meth now. See, the thing is that what Alex does is suggest, well, why don't you use my fluoride-free toothpaste? And it's like, well, you're not losing your teeth because you're not brushing good. You're losing your teeth because you're doing meth.
Mm.
But he's like, no, 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 keep using the fluoride-free toothpaste. It's like, no, 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 stop doing meth. That's how he is with the people from 1948.
Hmm.
He doesn't recommend stop doing meth. He's like, use my fluoride-free toothpaste. But the actual answer is stop doing meth. Look how much better Hunter Biden looked when he stopped doing meth.
Right.
You know, so my recommendation to Alex is make the right recommendations and be honest.
Yeah.
Alex, be honest.
Yeah.
You know, and if you are working for that country from 1948, shame on you and stop it.
Right.
Come out and say it.
And you know what? Like this is kind of like a weird phenomenon too. Like the people that follow whoever they're following, have you noticed like when people are really into whoever it is that they're into, they get really angry when you draw attention to like whatever bad thing that these people are doing. It's like it hurts their ego personally when you tell them,
Yeah. Like
you know.
Erica Kirk kind of had that air. Like Salty Cracker was like, how dare you criticize her? She's
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah, and I saw, I would read comments on some of the um people's posts and stuff, and they would get really mad at like, if people weren't agreeing with Candace or whatever, whoever it was, like, how dare you, instead of like going, oh, that's really interesting, like that is something I should look at. Like, why is that person saying, yeah, it's weird that that person would be saying that. No, a lot of people can't keep an open mind, and so they just become offended when you point out like the faults of somebody.
Or kind of like, remember Santa Surfer? Remember Santa Surfer? She was like that one during
Oh
Cooties.
yeah,
And she
yeah.
comes out and she was a big advocate of Q. And remember,
Right.
her air and her kind of tenor was, duh, the white hats are in charge.
Yeah.
You don't even understand.
Some of them have that kind of air. It's like, duh, you're just so dumb that you don't understand
You
these
don't even
things.
understand. The white
Yeah.
hats are in charge, and everybody's already been to Guantanamo and been hung. So, it's kind of like that air. And it's like, let people. I think what I kind of am getting to the point now where if someone's not a walker, I don't really care if they disagree with me. Now I kind of, the way I discern things is, are you a walker? No, you're still alive. Good, good, good. We can
Yeah.
work with you.
We can still have a conversation. Yeah.
Yes. And it doesn't matter because guess what? If somebody's not a walker, they can disagree with you and it's okay.
Yeah. What about Tucker? Do we have a
Tucker.
resolution for him?
Tucker, yep. Stop wearing that little bracelet.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Stop wearing that little bracelet, Tucker. And then, Tucker, how about this for a New Year's resolution for you? Stop coming out and playing dumb. Come out and say, no, I didn't forge a career in journalism through hard work and determination. I am where I am because I was born into the culture club. And just say that and stop acting like you're on the everyman American side.
Right. Well, I think so. I had a German Shepherd moment with him a long time ago when he was still on Fox News. I can't even remember what it was, but he said something that really made me like lose trust in him. And then he's so charming. And this is the thing with a lot of these controlled opposition.
Yeah.
He's so charming and he's so cute. Like I actually like sometimes think like he'd be a fun guy to hang out with, but then I listen to him and I'm like, I don't know. He kind of is always right. You know what I mean?
Always right.
He's one of those people that's always right.
He's condescending.
Yeah. So maybe he wouldn't be so fun to hang out with, but
Plus, he's kind of like very, very self-aware of like how in the zeitgeist he is.
yeah,
That would be obnoxious for me to hang out.
it would be. So I think that his resolution should be like maybe just I don't know, he seems so down to earth, but he's almost not. Do you know what I'm saying?
I think he's a clone.
Like he kind of because he's kind of a know-it-all.
He is.
He's kind of a
like
know-it-all.
Crowder. He's
Yeah.
like Louder with Crowder. He's
Yeah.
like, excuse me, I'm right.
Yeah.
But then he also, whenever it comes to something that has to do with that country from 1948, he has this deflecting mode. Have you ever noticed where he goes, and I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
And he'll always do that.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, dude, you do know.
Yeah.
So Tucker and Alex, start being honest.
Yeah.
New Year's resolution, be completely honest.
Totally.
Be completely honest about how you're in the culture club.
Because I think, he's got a huge following of people that really like him. And if he was a little bit more transparent about these theories, I think it would really like get some of these ideas out there instead of hiding them.
Dude, I would be so on board with Tucker if he came out and he did an episode one time and just went, you know what, my dad was in the CIA and I'm where I am because of that. And that's just the way it is. But I'm here to tell you I'm against these people. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But that's not how it is.
Yeah.
What he does is he just kind of goes, very interesting. Like he's on that guy. What's this new guy with the bald head? He goes on the interview with Tucker, Steve something. Have you ever heard about this guy?
No.
He's like a new guy in the zeitgeist.
Oh, he's just suddenly, and he's probably got 1 million followers. He just came out of nowhere.
That's what he is.
Yeah.
And he's the new guy.
It's like the Hollywood actors that just like suddenly appear out of nowhere.
And now Alex brings him up in his show, and Tucker went on his show. And so it's like, who's this Johnny come lately?
Yeah.
And he's the new controlled opposition dude. And he comes out.
Maybe it's Charlie Kirk with a different mask.
Exactly. It probably was.
They have to come up with new ones now and then because people start to catch on. Like people like us start to catch on to these people.
Yeah, like I won't even listen to Tucker anymore.
And you start to grow. Like we kind of graduated from Alex. We graduated from Candace. Now you kind of like. So they have to bring out new ones to spread their message.
Where I saw Tucker and it kind of made me, it kind of grossed me out was he was talking with Matt Taibbi. Do you know who Matt Taibbi is?
Yeah.
He used to work for Rolling Stone, which is Culture Club.
No,
so he's in the Culture Club because he wouldn't be writing for Rolling Stone.
Right.
And he did this big expose on how obnoxious Christians were and how much of an atheist he is. So I can see why he's in the Culture Club.
Yeah.
So anyways, him and Tucker are talking and they're both just like flabbergasted at like this notion that our government is corrupt. And like they're just sitting there going, it never occurred to
It
me.
never occurred to me that way.
Now I'm starting to like realize, and
That's a German Shepherd moment.
it's a German Shepherd moment because it's not sincere. That's what all of these controlled opposition, they have one thing in common. They're not
No,
sincere.
that reminds me of Joe Rogan.
Joe.
He's totally not sincere because he does that. He plays that dumb thing. Like, oh, really? Oh my gosh, I had no idea.
Let's talk about Joe Rogan. That's a good one to talk about. What's his New Year's resolution?
Well, his New Year's resolution should be that not to discourage people from being creative because AI is going to take over.
Dude, with AI these days, you can write 300 scripts in a few seconds. So you're not going to be able to be a writer.
So just give it up.
Just give it up. We're fucked.
Yeah, meaning you, not me.
I'm a multi-billionaire and I have a huge audience that's completely I'm foisted on, but we're fucked. But here, by the way, let me tell you about Ethan Hawke. He's coming on. So that's kind of how it comes down. It's like you're fucked, but dude, Ethan Hawke, you've been in some banging movies. Tell us your backstory.
Hmm.
It's like, dude,
I love your description of him. He's where you go to listen to nothing for 2 hours.
totally.
It's such a perfect
Well,
description.
Ethan Hawke came on and it was doing his backstory.
Oh, they all
And
came out with their backstory.
that was like,
So
yeah.
we can know like who they really are and they're real people and they came from nothing.
And you know what that is? I think that is them trying to dispel this I'm controlled opposition thing. It's like they always have this I'm just a regular guy
Yeah.
and I just happen to be in the culture club.
Yeah.
Like Ethan Hawke was like, yeah, I was 12 years old. I lived in some podunk town and there was a play. I was in it and I was a knight and now I'm an A-list actor.
Yeah. That's so organic and realistic.
So I think that's part of Joe Rogan's like New Year's resolution. It's like, can you please be honest?
Right. Because you know what that made me think of just right there. There's so many of those stories that these A-list actors tell, and now we know that it's all BS, but it really puts out the wrong message because there's so many thousands of people out there who want to be an actor in Hollywood, and they go on hundreds if not thousands of auditions and spin their wheels for years trying to like make it in that industry, and it's never going to happen because it doesn't happen unless you sell your soul. But when they hear these stories like that, they think like, oh, I'm going to get discovered.
So be honest. And it's like Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan works for Satan. He should come out and say, well, Satan's my boss, dude. So let's talk to Chris Robinson, but Satan's my boss. Like he should wear a t-shirt that says Satan's my boss and just sit there and talk to Chris Robinson. And that's cool. I'll still tune in. But now I know that Chris Robinson and you work for Satan.
Mm-hmm.
But they kind of come off like they're just cool guys.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really understand what all the hubbub is about.
Right.
And we're popular and that's organic. Because that's kind of like what Ethan Hawke and Mel Gibson, they all have this kind of like ethos, like, dude, I'm just an honest, hardworking guy like you.
Who else?
So we got Joe, we got Alex. Oh, well, how about Nick Fuentes?
Oh, God.
Let's talk about Nick Fuentes. Because what's his New Year's resolution? He's an up and coming, he's like the underdog.
Right.
He's like Rocky Balboa.
That's his shtick.
He
looks like he's from that country from 1948.
He might,
doesn't he?
Totally. A lot of them use like American names. Like what's that guy?
Well, he's got like a Hispanic name, which is weird.
Like Jon Stewart. I think his name is like Jonathan Greenblatt or something.
Well, yeah, Jon Stewart Diner.
He's like, why do you go by Stewart? Well, I kind of want to hide the fact that I'm from that country from 1948 because back then it was kind of like they didn't have the power and the control back in the 90s when he was doing that show.
Well, it wasn't like out in the open.
No,
but
everything was under the table.
I remember what you told me a story once about some guy you worked with who you said was a total loser, and he like never like showed up for work or anything, and he was just like, he got fired. And then
Yes, yes.
tell
That
that
was
story because that is so, oh my
so I
gosh.
worked with this kid on I worked at this country this company on Wall Street for a little while, and he sat next to me, and he was funny, but he was from that country from 1948, and this was back in 2012, and I didn't have like the aversion to the people from that country from 1948 that I do now, because I've learned, and I'm like, oh, you guys are like a cabal, and you none of you guys are homeless, none of you guys are broke. How does that work? Now I've kind of learned. This guy was kind of like eye opening because he was funny and he was cool, but he was addicted to pain pills.
Mm,
So he got really badly addicted to pain pills, and he lived in Jersey. So we would take the train, and it's a kind of a long train ride. It's like an hour,
wow.
so you'd sit with him on the train. Now we'd be talking, and I got to know him pretty good, and he was funny. So we were hanging out, and like I said back then, I didn't have like an aversion to people from that country from 1948, so I would be friends with them. So, anyways, he gets so addicted to pain pills that he can't move, and he
Wow.
basically stops showing up to work. And then, so I don't see him for like 3 weeks, and then all of a sudden, at that job, you could dress casual. But then I see him on the train like about a month later, and he's totally in a suit.
Mm,
And I go, dude, where you going? You got an interview or something? Because I figured he lost his job and he was getting another job. And I figured like I would have to if I became a drug addict, couldn't show up to work, got fired, I would have to pretty much start from scratch with my life.
mm-hmm.
He's like, no, 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 I got a job as a CBO, chief business officer, making like 250 grand a
Oh
year.
my gosh.
I'm like, well, how'd you do that? And I was like, you just basically quit this last job by just not showing up because you're addicted to drugs. And now you come back with a like total promotion. And he's like, I'm in the tribe, bro. And he just told
It's
me, I'm
crazy.
in the tribe, bro. And then I was like, that's eye opening. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So we live in this rigged system.
It's like the mob,
It's like
mafia.
the mob. He's
Yeah.
a made man.
So,
He's a good fella.
well, I mean, I noticed like even when I was a kid that those people from that country from 1948 always seem to like, they always stick together and they always hire each other. It's all about, it's like a lot of, nepotism or whatever. They, and like Mormons too. Have you noticed?
Totally.
Which is another cult, I
And
think.
the people from that country from 1948 are the ones who came up with controlled opposition.
Mm.
They were the ones that came up with the Protocols of Zion before the Russian Revolution, and controlled opposition was the most important thing. So you'll see people like Laura Loomer,
Oh yeah.
and she's like, I'm from that country from 1948, but you're right. Don't wear a mask and don't get the pokies. And I'm on your side. But I'm from that country from 1948, and I have opaque funds.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that those people from that country from 1948 have is opaque funds, and they get placed in positions of
They
power
get
and
placed.
prestige.
Yeah. They don't earn them. They're just all of a sudden in them.
Mhm.
So what is Nick Fuentes' New Year's resolution?
Be honest.
Yeah.
Nick Fuentes,
I think that's the same for all of them, actually.
it's for honest. It's be honest. Nick Fuentes, you didn't become a big sensation because of your charm.
No, no. Um,
Well, like now, wait a second.
what?
Well, you're an attractive butterfly.
Thank you, Firefly.
Is Nick Fuentes like extremely charming?
No, in fact, he's like kind of repulsive.
He's kind of repulsive and
I think
obnoxious.
his voice is very grating.
Is grating, and he's kind of like this. So why would he suddenly become this new phenomenon with all these followers unless he's artificially foisted on people
Right.
like the U2 album that was just on your Apple Music?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, it's a beautiful day. That's what Nick Fuentes is.
Yeah.
He's that U2 album.
Yeah.
And because he's not charming.
No.
So be honest. So Nick, come out and say, I'm the new big guy in the area. And it's not because I'm an underdog, and it's not because I'm fighting the man. It's because I work for the man and I'm foisted on you. But let's talk. I would like him then. I'd be
Yeah.
like, that's cool.
Because he does have some good points. We can
Well,
take like all of these people, you got to take it with discernment,
him, Candace, Alex Jones, they all do these exposés that are accurate and fact based and actually kind of interesting.
Mhm.
They all do them.
Yeah.
But then they kind of have their little CO agenda at the end. So the New Year's resolution is just abandon that, you guys. Let's just do these exposés and be honest.
So let's talk about positive change that we can bring about in the world for the new year.
Tell me what you think some of them are.
Well, I think what we're doing is bringing about positive change.
How so?
Talking.
Yes.
And anybody can do it.
Yes.
Anybody can do it. Like you can share our podcast, you can talk to your friends, but I think we need to not be so like worried about offending people and being PC because that's how ideas get suppressed.
Well, we
And
talked about that.
we have to keep freedom of speech alive.
We talked about that. Like, when we were talking about our Christmas episode, and when, like over the last 20 years, we've had my family Christmas parties have gotten to the point where it's like we don't even really want to meet together
Mhm.
because I have so many walkers in my family that are total leftist libtards
Mhm.
that I can't really say anything without making their head explode at dinner.
Yeah, like you basically can't say anything.
I can't say anything. Because I can't give my take on anything because everything's politically correct. You know what I notice? Even the weather has become a bone of
Oh
contention.
yeah, because of climate change
That's right. So
and Earth mod.
you go, dude, there was like flooding in Washington. They had gnarly rains. I know. It's because that was an atmospheric river and you need to stop eating meat.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, all I wanted to do was just call attention to the weather.
Yeah.
And now we're having this political debate. And it's always the left ideas and the
Yes.
woke ideas. They're allowed to be discussed at the table.
Yeah.
But
Those are politically
but
correct.
I'm gonna get up and leave if you say lesbian. That's all there is to it.
hmm
So I
Yeah,
like your idea.
You should really shock your family at the next family gathering and just like go full on just start talking about how dinosaurs are a fairy tale.
Dinosaurs are a fairy tale and just
See what they say,
exactly.
you know?
Or you know what I was thinking too is they get really mad when you dispel the myth of Clyde.Danny H.
hmm
They get really mad.
They do. And it's like, well, if this is such a horrific problem that we're terrified about, like you'd think they'd be happy if you can dispel it because then they could sleep at night, right? They would be like, oh, I don't really have to worry about that big problem that's
Yeah.
ruining the world. You know what I mean?
You know what's another thing too is kind of like that girl that went to Pakistan and said, "Look at the blight and the poverty and the ramshackle huts, and I'm getting fondled by a bunch of men. It's so beautiful here." That's kind of the mentality of these people when
Yeah.
you talk about illegal immigration. And dude, our first world, Western civilization, is being completely collapsed by third world barbarians being artificially brought here. And if you bring that up, that's like really a touchy subject
I know.
because they're like, "Yeah, excuse me,
Yeah,
you're racist and xenophobic."
so this is sort of an epiphany. It's like they have all these like artificial problems that they've been told to worry about and be scared of. But when you provide you know, an answer to it by showing them that it's not even a problem, like it's not actually happening, instead of being grateful and like happy that they don't have to worry about this problem anymore, they're mad at you for telling them that it's not
Why
true.
did you cure my cancer? I wanted to cure my cancer with my own methods. It's
It's
kind of like the Roundup on the island.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, these weeds are invasive. Well, here, let me start yanking them. Excuse me, no, those are invasive, but we have Roundup
We
that
have our
we
ways.
do.
Yeah.
You don't do.
We
You don't
have
solve
our
things.
invasive ways of getting rid of the invasive species.
You know what? I think that's a really profound thing because you know why? That's why we can't really solve any problems because if you come up with a good idea, it's not about that's a good idea. It's about, yeah, but I'm not giving you credit for solving something.
Exactly. And they always want to like their ways of supposedly solving it are always way worse and like more destructive. Like they come up with these ways of destroying like what they're supposedly trying to save, you know? So
So New
that's
Year's resolution, if you're a listener and you like the cut of our jib, that means you're not politically correct. The New Year's resolution, in my opinion, is speak your mind boldly and don't worry about people who are getting offended because these people are psychotic. They become triple M's to the P.
yeah, mini megalomaniac micromanager psychopaths.
You did it
I
perfectly.
did it.
That was great.
I know.
That's exactly what they become. And they're triple M's to the P. So what they're doing is they're there to micromanage your takeaway.
Exactly.
So if you say anything that makes them mad, they're there to micromanage you. So the New Year's resolution for me is speak your mind and don't let anybody tell you that you can't say that.
Right. What other positive changes can we make in the world?
Positive changes to the world. I think, how about this? Stop being influenced by the media.
And that includes the alternate media
Well, yeah, because
because
the alternate media is a bunch of controlled
controlled
opposition
opposition.
clones,
Yeah.
which I think they're clones.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. Like all the people we just mentioned, Tucker, Alex, they could be replicants.
Totally.
So don't listen to them. Don't be
Listen with
influenced by the media.
discernment.
Because what I notice is what turns you into a walker is the media.
Hmm.
And the media also is constantly giving you fear porn, trying to make you afraid and paralyze you with fear.
Well, that's true. And I think like some really important things that can make positive change is um, be aware of the digital prison that they're trying to enslave us
That's
in.
so important.
Be aware and don't stop using cash.
Don't stop
I think
using
that's a
cash.
really big one. We have to
That's
keep
right.
we have to keep our freedom of speech. We have to keep our guns.
That's right.
We have to keep using cash.
The Fourth Amendment is important,
Yeah.
and people are like, the Fourth Amendment means that they're like surveilling me, and you're doing kind of search and seizure when I haven't even committed a crime.
Yeah.
What with Palantir? So stand up for that.
Stand up for that. And I think when we keep doing these things and not allowing them to take these things away from us, we are making positive change because they're trying to remove all of these freedoms that we have. And the more people that resist that and don't allow it, the longer their plan is going to take, and maybe it'll just fall apart.
Well, I think we can cause a revolution in hearts and minds.
Yeah.
I know they talk about that when they go over to like Afghanistan, Iraq. They're like, we're changing hearts and minds. And that's annoying, but that's kind of what we're trying to do.
Totally.
We're changing hearts and minds
Yeah.
because hearts and minds have been polluted by the media.
Yeah.
And now I can see that what they're doing is like that Megadeth song that says, just like the Pied Piper, led rats through the streets. That's what the media is doing.
Hmm.
And so what we're saying is wake up from that, because if you don't wake up from that, you're going to be led to your destruction.
Totally.
So that's a big
Led to your
resolution.
demise. Yeah.
That's a big resolution. Learn to not be ruled by the media. I think when you're afraid or when you're scared or when you're insecure, you should go into a room and pray to God and find solace with God. What people do, unfortunately, is when they're scared, when they're insecure, they turn to the media.
Yeah.
And then Satan goes, good, good, good.
That's like, they're turning to the enemy that created the problem and asking for the answers.
That's
That
right.
doesn't work out well.
You bring up another good point too, is the digital prison has to do with bread and circus.
Yeah.
Like Dodgers and Lakers.
Yeah.
Like, oh, football, like, oh, that, like, remember they had that play that would totally prove that football's totally rigged.
Oh yeah.
That happened over the weekend, and we can do a whole episode on that
Yeah.
because it was like obviously rigged. And so sports is rigged. Sports is a big, huge distraction. Kind of like Erica Kirk. It's a big, huge distraction. What we need to be focused on is human freedom worldwide, because they're closing in on us. They're trying to bring about communism. They're trying to get rid of self-determination and all of the things of the Constitution and the Magna Carta.
Ambition.
So
They're trying
ambition.
Yeah.
Magna Carta, I mean, not a New Year's resolution is remember human freedom and fight for it.
Exactly.
That's a good one.
I think that's a perfect way to end
Is
this.
that a good way to end this one?
Yeah.
Any other resolutions?
I don't have any, but I would love to hear some from our listeners if they want to write in the comments.
Please.
That would be exciting.
In the comments, please let us know any other resolutions.
And maybe we'll do a follow-up episode in the new year.
Taking those into account.
Yeah.
Good.
All right. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Bye.